that point. He's come back for his second spell in charge. That coach was Remontis Grigas, although he had some extenuating circumstances working against him. This Belarus team has Lindsay Harding. This Belarus team has Anastasia Veremenko, which that one did not. So we'll see what happens now. The time for the national anthem, starting with China. That's what it's all about. It's about, you know, international basketball, national anthems, playing for your country, the passion. Obviously, Lindsay Harding is a naturalized Belarusian, but this is giving her an opportunity to play for a team that has a shot to go at the Olympics. And boy, she is really excited about the opportunity and is also extremely confident coming into this game. These referees, Amy Bonner, Yasmina Juris, and Andrea Silva from the United States, Serbia, and Brazil will be the officiating crew.
Jeff, going to get a look at the rosters here, but just to expand upon the point we made right before the national anthem, this Chinese team goes deep. They get a lot of production out of the bench, and they score a lot of points in transition. And you know, to make the difference, this team scores 10 points on fast breaks in this competition. Belarus has only 1 point on average from fast breaks. They just don't run. Bench production, 28 points compared to 17 points. This team is deep, and it's going to be a Tom Ma team that comes out and pushes, plays defense. It's going to try and scrap, and in Xiaoting, and you know, in Xiaoting, they've got like a spirit. I think one of the more consistent players they had, and she's got it done in most games this tournament. So it's going to be the Chinese group going against the lineup from Belarus, that they know exactly what Belarus are going to do. We're going to get a chance to look at this Belarusian roster, obviously highlighted by Veremenko and Luchenko on the inside, Lindsay Harding at the point. But the thing that has also been impressive for me over this tournament is the way that Troina has come back to play at a level, and she is making a huge impact. Santina's carrying a little injury, which we were made aware of the other night, and that's going to be a big factor because she enables them to stretch the floor. That's why Troina's contribution has been so important. Nikčerović was good in the loss against Korea, where they just decided to make sure they came first as opposed to going after the win. Veremenko and Luchenko, I still think one of the best inside combinations in international basketball. They understand each other so well. They've played with each other in similar roles for so many years now that it's almost telepathic at times. Although she's a little bit ice maidenish, Anastasia Veremenko. Her emotion side sometimes are all internal. And just as a demonstration of how much impact she had last year at Eurobasket, coming back, only averaged 8 points and 4 rebounds. She's already up here with 14 and 9.5. And Xiaoting, 11 points at 46%, 3 points 67%. Doesn't shoot it a lot from the three-point line, but when she does, she's pretty consistent. Tom Ma knows how to use her as he knows to use any team he's coached.
Well, certainly for my money, Troyina has been the real surprise for Belarus, how solid she's been. She's had so many injuries, and for Boyovsky to have the luxury of having Tatiana Troyina really playing as well as she has ever played for Belarus, at least in the first 2 games. You know, over the course of the tournament, we'll see. You know, if they were to lose this game, how would she play in this game and then one to follow? But gosh, she has been vital with Snitsina clearing some, obviously, some foot problems from her season.
And the other thing, Jeff, Boyovsky's got, in the first game, had a great contribution from Popova. In the second game, Troyina came in and did a good job. If both of those could fire up, that would really enable him to stretch the floor. And if you stretch the floor with Belarus, Luchenko and Beramenko are just going to dominate on the inside.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nantes, France. It's the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament, the 3rd quarterfinal. And it's between Belarus in white and China in the red. And it's Belarus winning the opening tip, attacking the basket to the right. And the winner of this game qualifies for the Olympics. And immediately, Mark, I think you suggested, they're going to go inside to Yelena Luchenko.
If China spread their defense that much, then Luchenko's going to have 20 in no time.
And that's a very positive start. You know, it's interesting being guarded by the left-hander Vera Mahinka. The left-hander Sun is the one that starts with the big shot. Now here is Vera Mahinka. Boy, that was smooth.
Wow, a post up for Luchenko, a post up for Vera Mahinka against a jump shot for China. I know which coach will like which coach will be a happier coach at the moment.
Pass inside the Sun. And now Huang, who's been very effective shooting it for a big post. Chen unable to collect that rebound, so it goes back over to Belarus.
So the interesting thing is that China haven't tried to penetrate, whereas the Korea in the last group, the Koreans really did attack the middle very quickly and forced Belarus to try and play defense, picks up a few fouls early, and actually managed to get into the game that way. By being aggressive, China settling for jump shots.
Lindsay Harding over to Vera Mahinka for another jump shot this time, and now Chen up to Sun. And Sun puts up another one, and Sun all of a sudden becoming sort of the X factor because she really hasn't had, you know, great games so far. And today she's off to a terrific start. Luchenko gets inside. Ball goes out of bounds over to China. Chen for 3, and Luchenko with a rebound. And now Lindsay Harding pushes it quickly. Katsias Nitsina. And Viktorovich has been terrific for Belarus, but a little bit too hard with that attempt. Blue in. She goes strong to the basket and gets denied by Belarus. Viktorovich for 3. And Luchenko just kind of reaches over Chen, gets the rebound. Now Snitsina. And she's short, and they are just desperate to get something from Snitsina.
Surprised Luchenko didn't go straight back up. Did great to actually get the rebound, and with the success they've had going inside, she was 4 feet, mismatched, could have gone straight up.
Fong Hong Pin bumped at the line. She's a player, you know, a bigger, obviously the center, that just seems like she's getting better and better.
Yeah.
Last few years.
And she was not, she had a good game in the last group game. Late in the game, really put up some better numbers. Maybe Coach Mars decided to go with what he saw.
Well, Chen Nun is the veteran. But she hasn't felt well. She's been under the weather. Here's Fong coming back in. This time she shoots it over the rim, but Ting gets it, and she is blocked as she goes back up. So both teams trying to get it inside.
Difference, though, between what China are doing and what Korea did. Korea stretched the floor and attacked space, kicked and attacked space again. It's a little bit more traditional, if you want, in terms of trying to post up and then maybe trying to get some penetration, but there's too much traffic.
Now inside to Lushenko, and the foul from Sun. You know, we talked about it, about fronting those low post players. If players like Lushenko typically get it that low, they're going to score.
The good thing that China did was force the perimeter further away so the passing distance gets longer, which does give you a chance to get round, but you can't get round Lushenko when she has you sealed. It's a done deal.
As soon as Mingshen has come into the game, number 9, she had a really good shooting performance in the opener. And that's against Spain. And nice follow for Zermainka. Belarus do not want to be one-dimensional and just go inside every time. They're trying to get something going from the perimeter. Sun gets it to Sun. Mingbron. And the ball goes out of bounds. China ball. Popova's going to come in for Smitsina. And the question, I just wonder, as you look at the replay, as Smitsina takes a seat, we spoke to Troina at the press conference the other day and asked her if she felt like Smitsina, if they can qualify, would get better by the Olympics. She thinks with the extra rest, she would be much more effective. Well, Chen Nun comes off the bench, and there's the veteran. How about that?
Wow, it's, again, really nice action in terms of the post-up went, which dragged the defense down. They had a bit of a mismatch. She got into space. Good execution.
Well, Tatiana Torina is going to come in. And now we've got traveling the call against Belarus.
I don't think so, personally. I do not think. She just picks it up. Didn't put the foot down before she passed the ball off.
There's Chen. Gets it back to Chen Nun, the center. And Chen Nun's being effective as Sun Gron gets in there. And Chen Nun again, and it's Popova that's in there wrestling for the ball. Now, Lushenko will come in shortly for Zermainka, you would assume.
But China just so much more active that time. No Belarusian put their body on anybody to box out, so enabled China just to outwork them on the glass. Zermainka's more active than the whole of last year, trying to block shots, trying to get rebounds. But China are doing a nice job with the execution there. Great screen away, no help.
Zermainka going against Chen Nun down low. Song into the game for China. Here's Zermainka, pump fake, puts it up. And Chen Nun with the rebound.
If you're China, you're going to be very, very happy with the way the last couple of minutes have gone. Forcing jump shots from Belarus, they still can't, and they're containing Lindsay Harding, which is probably the most important thing.
Sun Mingshen goes right at the defense and gets it over to Chen Nun. And Belarus riding their luck because Chen Nun was wide open. He missed that jump shot.
And you've got to put a lot of this down to the preparation that Coach Mars done. The penetration which causes Zermainka to help. No one helps her. So whoever she's guarding always sees the ball, always is available. And they're getting nice 8-10 foot jump shots. the sort of shots that they want and they practice and they would have focused on in terms of preparing for the game. So as normal, Ma's got a way. He thinks he's got a way of getting an advantage, and his players doing a nice job executing that.
Chen Zifang has come in, the backup point guard. She's guarding the ball now. Vermayenka. Spain goes up, and much better for Belarus. They tie it. Also, Calsong back in the contest, number 12. She puts it up from the line. It's good. Nice drive from Lindsay Harding.
And you saw the last couple of possessions, she really did want to get herself going because they had contained her up until that point.
Shankin's coming back in with the next dead ball. Troina with the rebound. Remember, Belarus topped Group C despite losing to Korea in their last game by 1. They won it on goal difference. All 3 teams with Nigeria finished 1-1. Chen Nun faces a double team. And the pass for Chen Nun was a little too hard. Popova inside, tries to get it out to Lindsay Harding. Has the ball batted out, so Belarus have 18 on the shot clock. Lushenko comes in for Vermayenka. And Chen Nun also out of the game, and Huang is back in. Huang 10. Bounce pass to Lushenko, fresh into the game. There's contact, no call. Might have been a charge. Another drive. Huang looks at Lushenko. Lushenko holds her ground. Now back to Huang again. She goes up and takes the shot with the hand in her face. Troina knocks it out of bounds. It looks like the size of China's bothering Belarus on the boards.
It's their quickness as well. They're so active. Everybody seems to have the view that every shot that goes up is a potential pass to them, and they treat it like that. They've been very, very active. Belarus have just got to make early contact on the box out. Try and use the strength as opposed to the quickness to keep them off the glass.
Huang this time shoots against Troina, and that's a more favorable matchup. Yep. She was able to get the shot off. China go back in front, 12-10.
It's an impressive start by China in terms of the options they're taking.
Troina for 3, off the rim. Now Wu Di, who's come in, the lefty, and she hits the jump shot. Zioskova's going to come in for Lindsay Harding. I'm guessing. Popova for 3. Good. Gosh, just never know what you're going to get from Popova.
Well, if we get game 1, she's going to make a bucket of those, and she's going to get hot, and she's going to knock down that many threes that could give them a real boost. Good inside-outside play, though. They create a lot of space for her in the set.
And she's not afraid to take those shots. And here's a player that's impressive, too, Zhao. But her pass almost batted away. And then right at the end there, Huang Xijing had to put one up and was short. And now the pass from Lushenko to Popova was telegraphed and had no chance of getting it.
Yep. The selection of going down there was good. The execution was just not the level that we're accustomed to.
Wu turns it over now. Vitorovich on the break, but Wu Di beats her to the ball. 30 seconds to go. Doesn't look like Zioskova's going to get in the game. She's been sitting there for a couple of minutes. 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. Popova raises her hand to say, I committed a foul. Pliskova does get in the game. Belarus for Lindsay Harding. Also have Xiao Ting back in. And Chen as well. So here's Chen over to Wu Di. She just hit one jumper. Huang goes baseline, which is trapped, and just Lushenko just takes that ball away. Now Pliskova with 11 seconds remaining. Over to Popova. Oh, they left Popova. Oh, but she hits a three. It's almost a carbon copy of what happened in the first game for Belarus. And Belarus, with that Popova back-to-back threes, have taken the lead.
Well, you can see what Coach Ma thinks of that. Wasn't happy at all with that open in transition, because normally China are so very, very good at getting back and matching up, so they don't give you anything that's unopposed.
China 7 of 18, but look at the rebounding. 15-7.
And it's the 7 offensive rebounds that's the impressive number. And it's not from any one person. It's everyone is on the floor. 3 guys go to the glass. The other 2 are going back in transition. And it's just it's their commitment to that. They don't just try and rebound big. They're always active, always quick, and they gamble a little bit. It's I'm going to get to a space and then go after it, rebounding outside their space against a bigger lineup when both Luchenko and Veramarenko are on there. But when there's one of them there, they're just more active. They outwork everybody. But what a positive lift Popova has given Belarus when they look like they're becoming very one-dimensional. Whether it's Tsitsina, whether it's Popova, whether it's Thoreau, one of those players has to get going from the perimeter.
That's right. They need to be multifaceted, and if they're going to hit those shots, it's going to open things up inside, you would think.
I think Lindsay Harding's had all of 20 seconds on the bench, back straight away for the start of the second. But they've done a very good job of containing Lindsay Harding and forcing her to try and make plays.
Now, I think the uniform police have come out and said that Likorovich has to remove that brightly colored headband because maybe it's not officially a part of the Belarus uniform. So he's still out on the court. This looks a little different. Sun Mingran misses, but another offensive rebound and putback for China. That was Xiao Ting.
That has been such an impressive aspect of how China have approached this game.
Likorovich wide open, and not only did she throw the ball away, but she hurt her hand.
But she had so much space. I mean, she's a very, very good shooter. There was so many options where she could have just stopped at the foul line, popped the open shot, because there was a lot of red shirts around the charge circle.
Maybe that headband was her good luck charm.
Maybe.
She just had it taken away. Xiao Ting backs up Likorovich. Likorovich looks like for the foul. I'm not sure. I thought maybe she lowered her arms. Let's see.
Well, the hands on the hips doesn't help her.
No, that she got all wrong there.
Yeah. And she called her for a block. Yeah. It's great recognition by China, though, because they had a little size advantage. Went inside, made a good solid move, and they get rewarded.
Song gives China the 18-16 lead. So Lindsay Harding back in the game. That's her first jumper. Back on the number. And Lu Lin brings it back. And Lu Lin is out of bounds. And Harding, meanwhile, takes one for the team.
If she'd have still been in control of the ball, then the official would have had to have called the charge. Harding outside the charge circle. Can't describe it any better than taking one for the team. She got mowed. Hey, trying to get to the Olympic Games, why wouldn't you?
You just like to get there with your head still attached to your shoulders. Lushenko, the jump shot. And only red shirts under there. And
Jeff, if it carries on like this, rebounding could be the story of the game. It often is, but I didn't have that down in the script for this.
Right now it's 18-7 in favor of China. So interestingly, Gustavus going to come into the game for Belarus. Gustavus, remember, was a surprise inclusion in the team. And now the pass goes inside to Galson, and she has it blocked out of bounds. I like Galson. You know, she has the shot blocked, doesn't say anything. Most players are looking for the foul in that situation. Shall change, excuse me. And there she is again, and misses.
Troyan was very late reacting, but just about managed to secure the rebound.
Shanka. Trying to back her way up out there, and just has just kind of faces a little bit of a help defense, forces the turnover.
Well, the guard drops in and has a dig at the ball, shouting again. And I just think lots of good things happen around. Offensively, defensively, she's always looking to make things happen. She is the type of player that Coach Ma likes, you know, who's always involved, wants to really contribute.
Yeah, Lushenko makes up for it by knocking it right back to her team. And Harding, like the blur, goes down and gives it her teammate the shot, but she misses. Now Popova back outside to Harding. And Harding catches it, steps out of bounds. So Belarus, a little bit of frustration settling in.
Well, Ratskov has got to finish the play. They got down the floor. Harding did, you know, drew all the defense, gave her a wide open layup, and she just you need that little bit of composure. Ran the floor well, but for a player who's trying to break into the rotation, that could have given her a lot of confidence.
Chen for three. Long with the rebound. Now Hong Chen. 4 on the shot clock. Sun Gran puts it on the deck, drives and misses, and Troina rebounds it, but as she brings it down, Chao-Ting wraps her up. And the jump ball is called, but possession error for Belarus. They're just really fighting them for every possession, aren't they?
Absolutely. China have made a nice adjustment. Coach Ma made his point, obviously, in the timeout, in the time between the two breaks. It's just chasing Pep over and making her put it on the floor when she gets it inside the sets.
The Belarus have yet to score in the second quarter. Harding at the line. And quickly, Itzkava couldn't catch it. And Chao-Ting was there to take it and make the easy layup. So Vikarovich will come back in for Itzkava the next dead ball.
Lindsay Harding not quite in the flow. She's just looking for points at the moment as opposed to waiting for them to come.
And now off the hands of Vermainka. And a nice read from Popova to get the interception. Well, since Popova's hit those threes, I don't think she's got him yet. He hands it off to Harding. And Harding again. Somehow got a second bite of the cherry. Comes up and in.
Good things happen when you stay with and outwork people. She really did just stay and outwork people. Good push by Lindsay Harding, though.
Hard pass inside, and
Without being unkind, Bratislava's had a difficult time out there. One that she should have intercepted it, she missed the layup, and it's almost, and she's being told that at the moment. Shouting again, gets the post up, gets fouled, finds herself on the free throw line. China have got this really nice tempo offensively. It's very sharp. They're really well spaced. It's asking Belarus to stretch their defense, and at times that does leave them exposed. They're not very good in reacting and rotating, so that's why the penetration, that's why the rebound situations are favoring China. They're just stretching the floor.
Germainka gets it to Harding, and great job, Germainka. How in the world did she control that? Well, with that play and the previous Harding play, they are really just hanging in at the moment. They're not having a great time, but they're just hanging in and toughing it out. And the Chinese just completely dominating the glass.
No box out at all by Troyina.
And the hand check, the push, and Germainka. Third team foul, though. No fouls on China here.
I think Belarus really have to think about doing here, because China's defense is very, very active. They've got to be very decisive and very definite on the move to the basket, be it in the post or be it from the perimeter, because China will go after the ball. They've just got to be very decisive. They've also got to do something on the glass.
Well, that's a turnover that won't please Tom Marr. Just fumbles it out of bounds.
And Xiao Ting said, well, I've got this hand asking for the ball, my left, you throw it to my right. What am I supposed to do?
Right now, China doubled Belarus in the rebounding department, 22 to 11. Shot clock winding down, and Harding does the move, makes the move to get the shot, but then misses the shot.
Right, she should have made it, but I still think she's looking for offense. She's trying to find shots.
Good job, Lushenko getting a hand in the face of Sun Ming-Chen. And now the pass from Harding. Lushenko has it knocked out of her hands by the point guard, Zhao, who has it. Zhao gets it back over to Sun. And Chen Nong goes into the layup. So that's a 4-point swing. Time to go back in front by 4.
That ripped through him first step, just left Beramenko, I don't think believed that she was going to take it to the ring that quickly. First step just left her for dead.
Vikarovic gets in and puts it up. She can't get her game going, and Bujovski's going to call timeout.
Well, that's that rebound stat, 24 to 12. 11 offensive rebounds.
Winner of this game goes to the Olympics. Wow. The veteran makes one. Might best be described as a left-handed push shot. What's this? From the corner of the line. And the veteran has come out of retirement to play again this summer. They put her team in front by 6.
Потому что чисто пытаемся чисто забить, очень сложно найти фол. И мы очень медленно, все взаимодействия делаем очень медленно, надо быстрее проворачивать все.
Rebound number up there again, 24 to 12 as we said. And it's not about athleticism, it's just about sheer hard work and attacking the glass. And I'll make the same point again down the other end. When Luchenko had the ball knocked away, the rotation from China was so quick. The rotation from Belarus is just nowhere near the same sort of speed. Coach Marr talked in their practice about rotations. They don't want to get into too many rotations, but in this game, the guards in particular are digging in at the post, trying to knock the ball away. Their rotations are good. The whole tempo of his game is just a step ahead of where Belarus are. I think Harding could get it off the point and get it back. If she gets it back, the defense has already moved a little. At the moment, she's just trying to force it a little bit, trying to help her team, but maybe just needs to relax.
Well, we'll see if Belarus can calm down after that timeout. Kova, in out, now across the court. Harding, back to Vikarovic, it's online, but it's long, and Lushenko is able to reach over Gao Song and get the rebound. It's had a couple of rebounds like that. China just doing a great job of getting position. Again, this time to Lushenka, and Lushenka just says, listen, you got to get me the ball. Get me the ball. And she goes up strong.
Still, though, the Chinese forcing that pass to be over a little, possibly longer than Lindsay Harding wants it to be. But again, you're relying on Lushenka's ability and strength in the post.
Viktorovich reaches in and forces the turnover. She gets the ball back for Belarus now. Chen and Huang coming back in for Chen Yun and Zhao. Xi Fang, and see the replay.
Again,
They called the foul, actually.
Yeah.
Zhao Xi Fang there. And now she's going to hear it from Coach Ma.
But this is the strength of that Chinese team. Or Popova in the post.
Wow, what a play from Popova. She held off Wu Di with her left arm. Standing.
Popova with 2 threes in that too.
Here's Huang. That's online. That's good. That was a nice stroke. China shot the ball better tonight.
Mid-range have done and they've been going over some tall defense as well when they're being guarded by Veremenko or Lushenka.
Pass inside to Lushenka. And Lushenka had what she wanted. Just couldn't get the fall. Popova's just coming up with play after play. She gets it to Harding, and Harding gets it back to her and puts it up and in. Popova has been absolutely terrific.
Well, 10 points for her. She did remarkably well to finish there because the pass didn't help her. And this is the game 1 Popova, not the game 2 Popova. She's done an excellent job off the bench, big time contribution. We know Cecina's injured, and it looks like the rotation though goes back to her almost being treated like the starter.
Listen to this stat from Popova. 4 steals in the first half to go to 10 points. That's impressive. Points in the paint, Belarus shooting 53%, 10 of 19. And this just goes to show you with China 5 of 14. You know, some of their jump shots are falling. They're 5 of 14 in the paint.
Yeah, but the 5 of 14 then says, well, they're getting 14 because they're getting the offensive rebounds. It's remarkable how confident you shoot the ball when you're getting offensive rebounds. So, you know, the last jumper that went over the top of Veremenko just demonstrates that. We haven't seen that from guys coming off this Chinese bench, just squaring up, being confident and stroking the mid-range jump shot. So, can they carry on shooting that well? The equation's really simple for Belarus. Just get down low and box out and rebound, and all of a sudden you're going to be up 6-7 points without even changing anything else.
Overplaying on defense, but foul on Veremenko.
So the second foul.
So she's going to have to be careful here. Belarus trying to get a little bit more activity and get some momentum here going to halftime. Trailing by 2, 14 on the shot clock. Liu Wen to inbound to Huang, who just hit a jumper. Here's Liu Wen again, double team to Huang inside, and Huang was great play overall by China, just did not finish. Viktorovich over to Lushenka, and Lushenka gets up hard, but puts it back up and in. And just remember your comments at the beginning about how she just will not allow Belarus to lose. You know, that's the type of.
She's not having a great game, is she? 2 from 7 from where she's shooting, another steal.
Here comes Viktorovich off to the races and misses the shot. And she was out of bounds. And it goes back over to China.
I think that's about the 4th fast break situation where Belarus have come up empty when they really, it was harder to miss almost because Viktorovich is way ahead of the defense. Should have just finished it. They should have been looking at their first lead in a long time.
That would have put them in front.
Well, then she's going underneath you. So look, just go 89. She sets the screen.
8九，你掩护，你下坠，你上提，明白？
Points from
Now,
turnovers.
you come up and get ready to
12
go
for
back.
China,
Because if she
8.
goes underneath, you
Sorry,
shoot
13
the
points
ball.
for Belarus, 6 for China. China turned it over 12 times. So that's kind of keeping Belarus in the game.
Yeah, well, and it's not been an aspect of their game that has been something they've based it on. Papova started that with a four that you pointed
China
out.
have had some issues with time of turnovers.
Yeah, it's definitely that way around. So the answer for Belarus to the problems on the boards is to get some steals, and they've gone down the floor. But you've got to absolutely have to finish those plays. It's got to be a layup, yep, or it's at best an and one. And Papova, the one they made, was the toughest shot they were taking. There was defense all over her because her and Lindsay Harding, came up with a little bit of a problem, should we say, in terms of sharing the ball.
Jones in the lane, and bounce pass to Huang. Boy, Huang is becoming an X factor. That's his second. He's got 4 points.
Excellent movement away from the ball when she saw, but Belarus just got lost.
Xiaoting knocked it out of the hands. Let's see how he got it now. Boy, left her feet. I don't know if she didn't know if she was going to shoot it or hand it off to Lushenka. Xiaoting drives down. And boy, talk about a momentum shift for China with 2 baskets right at the end of the half. And remembering that Belarus had the layup, which was missed by Likarovic. So that's a big swing. It's about a 6-point swing there in favor of China in this quarterfinal. Winner.
Well, these stats are going to tell us part of the story, but when you get to the second page and we get onto the rebound numbers, that's why China have the lead. They've not done as good a job at times as they have previously in this competition in terms of shooting percentages. But 11 offensive rebounds is just a phenomenal performance. And it's not about size or athleticism, it's about sheer quickness and hard work. They've countered that a little bit by turning the ball over just too many times. And 12 turnovers, that has given Belarus, but Belarus haven't made the most of those 12 turnovers because they've only scored 2 points in transition. So it's really set up nicely. The disappointing thing for Belarus is you're getting beat on the boards. Your shooting percentage isn't where it should be because you've missed layups and missed inside options. But the team that wins the boards normally wins games of pressure because you're not going to shoot great percentages. And what's really happening now is China is just outworking Belarus. That's why they have the lead. Belarus just have to match that in the second half. Who knows which way this is going to go. It's a 4-point game. Could go either way.
32-28, China on top of Belarus at halftime.
Mesdames, Messieurs, applaudissements à la team Mars. Ils sont de la région nantaise, applaudissements à la team Mars. N'oubliez pas une boutique à votre disposition, FIBA Store, la boutique officielle de la Fédération française de basketball. Il y a également l'espace PIP pour découvrir les chaussures PIP, partenaire officiel de la FIBA depuis 2016, dont l'ambassadeur international n'est autre que Tony Parker.
En tant que ballon officiel de la FIBA et des tournois de qualification olympique, et bien Voltaire est fier de présenter son ballon édition officielle. Son design est dynamique, représente les mouvements et l'agilité des meilleurs joueurs de basket du monde. Rejoignez Molten et montrez votre soutien à votre équipe nationale alors qu'ils jouent à leur plus haut niveau avec intégrité et fair play. Pour en savoir plus, visitez le site internet FIBA.com et participez au concours pour gagner un ballon Molten édition 2016. Ça va se passer sur le QTV avec les spots de nos partenaires internationaux de la FIBA. Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest you watch the TV cube for the commercial of FIBA's partner.
There is a valley we call deep. A valley that defines a uniquely Japanese approach to service that we embody. A valley that keeps passengers smiling. Hospitality from the heart. It's our heritage. Japan Airlines.
32-28, China on top of Belarus in the third quarter final of the FIBA Women's Olympic qualifying tournament. The winner of this game will join Spain and Turkey in the Olympic tournament field. Those two teams won their games earlier today, Spain beating Korea in their clash, and Turkey overcoming Cuba. Later tonight, France will go up against Argentina. France will be big favorites in that game. Now, China with a 4-point lead, and probably the biggest reason why has been their dominance on the boards. Belarus may have solved some of that late in the second quarter, but look at that. They just continued to scrap, and scrap. And on the defensive end, often it was one shot and out for Belarus.
Well, that's part of the issue. And the other really interesting stat for a team that really does try and pound inside as much as possible, and with a guard with the qualities of Lindsay Harding, no trip to the free throw line in the whole of the half. They're averaging about 8-9 attempts per game, none. And that's when you're playing as hard as China are, that's a real testimony to their discipline in not reaching, not fouling. But also, Belarus not being definite enough.
Well, welcome back to Nantes. If you are watching this game, or if you're just joining us for the first time, it's China-Belarus playing for a spot in the Olympics in this third quarterfinal of the day. China on top by 4, now make it 6. And they continue to hit jump shots. Range jump shots.
Simple over help. There was no reason to help. Even Veremenka went and helped, and it wasn't even her responsibility to. So just contain your player.
Well, don't forget, Belarus did lose to Korea by a point a couple of days ago. And inside it goes to Veremenka, and Veremenka had a difficult shot. China ended up with a few players in there, but thanks to her length, she was able to get it up. And then there you see the 5 players on the court for China: Chen Xiaolu, Sun Mingran, and Huang Hongfen. There's Lu Wen. Now Huang just behind the line. And, you know, we didn't expect China to dominate the boards, and I dare say we didn't expect them to shoot it quite as well as they have from the floor.
Especially their bigs. I mean, their bigs have done a really nice job mid-range, and their spacing's been very good to create that opportunity as well.
Malichenko gets it inside. Boy, that is tough.
No help came that time. That's the first time no one came from the help side, and she finished really, really nicely.
Chen from three-point range and going up for the ball was Lyshenko, but China just crashed the boards and ended up taking the ball away.
Well, Liktarovic didn't even attempt to box out. It was her player that came baseline and knocked it away. It's a 5-player responsibility. They must have talked about it at halftime. Must have.
Here it is again. Look at this. Now Lindsey Harding pulls it out. Gets it for Liktarovic. And then she passes over to Slitsina, and it just isn't working with Slitsina. Popova will enter the game immediately with Slitsina, who's got those foot problems and just can't make the contribution that Belarus needs at this point.
They didn't allow the substitution. She
didn't get to the scores table in time. And now a push.
That'll be 3 on Vermayenko.
Now she'll probably have to come out of the game as well.
And Troyina coming into the game made huge contributions yesterday. She's got to bring that now, because otherwise they're going to have to. They can't leave Vermayenko out if Troyina doesn't make the same contribution as she did yesterday. It's just about their defensive effort now. You've got to box out.
Well, the drive from China and the rebound from Lyshenko. Trina over to Liktarovic, and the foul from Chen.
This is just an excellent defensive effort by China. They fly with the basketballs in the air, everyone sprints, everyone rotates, everyone is on the move. There's just some significant focus, great prep, and they're just really putting it on the floor.
And Lyshenko has it taken away. Liktarovic commits the tactical stop the fast break foul. And Tom Moore was asking for the unsportsmanlike. They're not going to get that. Remember, Belarus had possession. They had a chance to take the lead late in the first half. And since Liktarovic missed that layup, it's been all China since. Son Lundgren, it's a 3. And their confidence right now is soaring. You can just see it over there on the bench. And Lyshenko misses the layup.
Your belief gets tested at this point. You've got to stay with what you do. Don't try and force it.
Another 3 for Chen. And I can't remember China shooting this well in a long time. They are tearing it. I mean, that's what happens. They get the confidence going. And Chen, she hasn't shot it as well as her teammates, but she just saw one go in, and now she's just got nothing but the bottom of the net. And it's a 12-point lead.
I really think it all stems from their effort on the boards, because Belarus now are wary of that. They gap a little bit. They've been going under screens for the whole game, so it's not as if they've changed that. And then they blow a layup down the other end. This is where it really tests. And in the past, Belarus have always had a great amount of belief. They've always been able to find ways to be competitive at the very best levels. Now, this is when it's really going to get tested. You can't have Lindsey Harding trying to take over a game. You can't have Lyshenko trying to force it. They'll get good shots. It's about stops for them. Get stops down the other end, work your way back in, There is 16 minutes left to go in this game. You do not need to panic, but you do need to start playing defense.
Start playing defense, start boxing out. Or maybe get a couple of timely three-pointers from Popova. Viktorovich didn't want to make the pass to Lushenko. It was going to be a difficult one. Here she gets it. And Lushenko is surrounded and somehow fights her way through there and scores. Let's see if that gets her on track. She's got 10 points now, 5 of 11 from the floor. Chin Nun drives in, and again, this time ball batted out. Harding, she's going to try to go all the way and misses the layup.
I think that's the fourth scenario, fourth or fifth, where they've actually, from defensive effort, got the chance to run. But Harding then took a tough shot. You know, she still should have made it, but took a tough shot.
Popova reaches over and fouls Xiao Ting.
But look how many red shirts got back. 3 red shirts just got back, even though it was a very long rebound situation. This is just a tremendous effort by China.
Chin Nun inside to Xiao Ting. Ta-ting.
The cash register again. Perfect execution. Popova just slept. And you can't risk. There's no point trying to save Veremenka for when she's got in foul trouble when you're going to get this many down.
Well, they know they're going inside the Lushenko. They're surrounding her. And somehow Bellarus able to get it to the center. But they cannot trade baskets. They've got to start getting stops. Chin Nun hits the jumper. Well, you better believe alarm bells are ringing back in Minsk right now. They might be thinking our team's going to have to stick around in Nantes for a couple more days. And now the drive knocked away. China again, and Xiao Ting drives in and draws the foul. And Kwiatkowski is looking for something. And he's going to bring in a player that hasn't played at all yet. Natalia Anushrienko.
And Anna Frank has been around for a long time on this team, Jeff, but no minutes, never seen the floor in this tournament for whatever reason. Desperate times, desperate measures almost.
Can you believe it? 13 points lead.
Well, you're now talking about trying to give yourself a chance to get back in. So they've got to get this to manageable numbers, but before the end of this quarter, get it back to 10. Anything less than 10, and you know that Belarus have got an opportunity. I just cannot believe China will shoot these percentages for the rest of the game.
Anushrienko right off the bench, gets inside, puts it up.
3 white shirts going back. You know, Popova's got to go and help on the glass. Veremenka kept it alive. Popova should be on the glass trying to follow that through. That's what China have done the whole game.
Chin Nun gets inside, puts it up and in. Well, they really piled on the agony, did China back at the World Championship in two years ago. And this one's going to sting if they pull away from Belarus, and finally something positive for Belarus, Lindsey Harding.
But that's what we were talking about earlier on, is, well, China are going at it straight away.
Huang travels.
Earlier in the game, Jeff, when we said if you could give it up and get it back, so someone else create a bit of space, give her some, because the Chinese defense really helps a lot. And if she pops to mid-range, I don't think she misses mid-range, especially if she's open. Exactly as she just got the 2 then.
Trainer this time takes it upon herself, drives, and gets the foul. That stops the clock. So Wong comes out, gets a tongue lashing from Mar for taking that shot. And then something defensively she didn't do right.
Well, you need your veteran players to step out. It's 2 penetrations from Troyina, and positive things have happened. Very, very decisive. One time she gets to the line, the time before she assists to Harding. But it's much more direct and it's quicker.
Chin-Nun draws the foul while taking the shot. Boy, she was absolutely a non-factor in China's games against Venezuela and Spain. And all Chin-Nun has done today is come out and scored 12 points, 6 of 10 shooting from the floor. She can go to 13 if she makes this free throw. Xiao Ting is leading China with 14 points, so that tells you the impact of Chen.
Jeff, they're shooting 75% from the floor in this period. They've got 9 from 12. And when they missed, they picked up 2 offensive rebounds too.
So again, down low. Interesting, she might be able to take Chen on the dribble. Nope, she tries to make a pass to Popova. Great defense from China.
They have only not scored on 1 trip down the floor. That was when Lindsay Harding came out with the steal and ran. It's the only time they haven't scored from the floor in the period.
Well, now the lead has ballooned to 17 for China. Harding drives in with the left hand, misses, and Rebounding follows, misses. And they're running during quicksand right now. They're just disappearing. And China have extended the advantage to 19.
And they need to take another timeout to just stop the rock.
Troyina for 3. And the ball goes out of bounds, back over to China. Well, I think they're getting excited back in Beijing. Shanghai, I mean, they're going to have 2 teams in the Olympics unless we see something dramatic happen. The men have already qualified, and the women who were absolutely tanned in the final last year by Japan are coming out now, and really interestingly, this would be the first, as Wong Hong Ben scores, the first time in the last 2 women's Olympic qualifying tournaments that a European team has lost.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They haven't lost yet, though, as Luchenko makes the 2. But Jesus, this is going to be like a hell of a comeback for a team that doesn't score in a hurry. But they've scored 29 points in this quarter. Still a minute. This Chinese team hasn't come close to scoring 29 points in a quarter. Their percentages are way into they're over 84% from the field in the quarter. It's almost a perfect quarter for them.
Here's Zhao, though. She put up a bad one. And Shanka gets it over to Popova. Now inside to Lushenko again. Cross court. And
one.
Viktorovich.
Put it on the floor.
So that's only going to be an inbound. An inline, rather. Now Song back in for a Song drive. Now Fan is going to come out. Lushenko faked the handoff, took it herself, gives it to Harding, and then Harding lost it as she got into the lane. She's having her struggles today, Lindsay Harding.
At any level, if a team comes out and shoots 75% from the field, including from the 3-point line, you're going to struggle to stay with them. But Belarus have been victims of their own undoing at times.
Harding in the open floor. And they were ready for the three-point attempt that time from Popova. And it just seems to go from bad to worse for Belarus.
Oh, Sun Ming just saw it. She remembers that. Why'd you let the girl get a feet set and shoot the three from the first quarter? So she's going to chase her off the line. You know, again, Coach Ma makes adjustments. His players have executed him. They've got a chance to lead this by more than 20 going into the last quarter.
Trapped by Popova. And she stepped out of bounds, so Belarus will get it. What do you think about? Well, see if get a good shot. Harding and Popova, and Harding should have taken that thing. So at the end of the quarter, it's all China right now, 61-42. Popova, you can see, getting rid of that a little too late. 10 minutes separate China's national team from the spot in the Olympics.
That's one of the most impressive quarters of basketball. Well, it's definitely the most impressive quarter of basketball we've seen while we've been here in France. They're shooting 57%, 22 from the three-point line, but those two were made in that quarter. They literally shot over 75% from the field. The rebound numbers haven't got any worse because they've only got one more. They've only missed 3 shots in that quarter. And it's just a phenomenal performance. And defensively, they just haven't let up. So you just have to, you know, all the Belarus can do now is like, that's a great quarter. Can we get back in this? Of course they can get back in this. They have enough quality to get back. Are China going to go and shoot that well again? Who knows? But what you can't do is give them second looks. One possession at a time. Get stops, get rebounds, and then go down the floor and execute. Some early transition with both Veremeyinka and Luchenko in the game. Get one of them in the court. They might be able to do it that way. But one thing for sure, there's no way that they are going to get back into this game giving second shots up and not coming up empty on the break. They have to be perfect to have a chance to get back in this game. At times, though, this team can be perfect. Can China be that good? If they were that good every quarter, they wouldn't be in this game. They'd have won the group.
It certainly showed they gave good account of themselves for much of the first half against Spain.
But they struggled to score, didn't they? They could not get anything to drop.
They've saved a good performance for today, that's for sure. Likorovich for 3. Oh, that's interesting.
You'll take any option, won't you, when you're in this much of a hole?
And good pass inside. Good decision from Harding to Lushenko. Sense of urgency is there in the faces of the Belarusian players.
Well, there's the score. Now they need to stop. Can't give those feet set, open shots. Oh, just give them a layup then. $18 points for Xiaoting.
It's like basketball 101 there. Lushenko hits a jumper. Can't trade baskets. Look how quickly China push it up. Now over to Chen for 3. And she missed a lot. And that was early in the possession.
One of the bigs, get to the front of the ring and try and get something early. Don't have to run things if you get there early. They've left Popova in there.
For 3. And that time Lushenko got in there in position. She just could not quite catch it. She's appealing to the referee to call a foul.
I think it should have been Belarus' ball, I think, because the defense knocked it out of the hand. And
watch this.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Went off Chin. trying to knock it out of Chin's hands. Trying to get something from the defense. Huang wide open, wins out. And now coming from behind, they call the foul on Jeremiah.
See,
so that's 4.
That was the execution for China was so good because Veramaker showed. So they dived off that pick and roll. So Liu Cheng had to help. So the guard just found the open player. It's very simplistic, but if you execute it well and the defense isn't really active, you're going to get what you want. It's just so execution was just top draw.
And Serena, boy, they're going to call a foul on Serena guarding Huang. It's made by the American referee out of the wing. They've just been dominated.
Yeah.
They really have.
We can talk about it in all sorts of ways. They've executed at a level they haven't shown us throughout this tournament so far. Are Belarus that much worse than Spain? They're not as good as Spain, but they could not buy baskets against Spain, especially in the second half. And they have just executed superbly to get really good open looks. It's been a tremendous performance.
Harding pulls up for the jumper. But the shots are falling now for Belarus, but it doesn't matter if they can't stop China.
And China are doing a nice thing here. They're still being active offensively, but they're not going to take something early unless it's really what they want.
Here's Xiaoting, bounce pass. Good help out from Lushenko, saying the ball, trying to argue the ball went off of Sun. Watch this. No, they got it right. That went off of Lushenko.
Yeah, it already bounced before.
Now Chin Nun. Oh, boy, how well has the veteran played? It's just terrific. But she really wasn't well when she got here. We saw that she had a cold, so maybe that appears to have been the problem. Lushenko puts it up, and that sums it up right there, doesn't it? I mean,
absolutely sums it up.
That ball was going down, and it came out.
Oh, the basketball gods said, you earn it, though. And you earn it. And China, even then, nothing easy. I can't remember many options where Belarus have been given anything easy by this Chinese team.
So a potential three-point play becomes a potential one-point play. It's back to 18. So Chin's looking pretty capable there, handling the ball, just goes all the way. Is going to come into the game. Harding draws the contact, goes up. So she got the pump fake, trip to the line, stops the clock. So Cisco's going to come in for Harding. The next dead ball, but all you can do is applaud China. They've been terrific. I'm not surprised they would win the game.
No, because we thought the game would be close.
But yeah, I'm surprised by how much they've dominated.
Yeah. And that's the best word to describe it. They have totally dominated this game. They've definitely dominated the tempo of the game right from the first minute, and then they've just scored. But good things happen. When you outwork your opponent, you earn it, and they've outworked Belarus as well as playing exceptionally well as well.
Harding there, you see you get the towel. So the good news, once you get to this stage, that you can actually lose and still get there, but you're going to have to win a couple more games. All these teams would rather just take care of business now when they can, and it looks like that's what China has done.
They have just had a phenomenal mid-range shooting game, but Belarus have looked at them take open jump shots for most of the game. Then they've moved the ball to get open looks, and you still got to make them.
Well, that was Troina. Takes it right back. Popova open and nails the three. So that's back to 18. But only 6 minutes remain now. Popova commits the foul out on the perimeter. It's been pretty much it in terms of the three-point shooting today. That's 4 fouls, or 3 fouls. Three fouls on Popova. Troina comes out. Good block from Vermainka, but even still cannot come away with the ball. Son Mengshan for 3. Good!
Well, the Luchenko option down there and summed it up. That summed it up.
Yeah.
Belarus had it twice, and then right on the buzzer.
Luchenko gets it blocked, but Vermainka gets it back. Careful. She got fouled. Look at that. Yeah, she got it off the time, didn't she? Comes back in. Vermainka makes the first win. We thought the way Belarus beat Nigeria on the opening day, and also, you know, they weren't blown out against Korea. I mean, if anything, but Korea, you know, maybe that should have raised some concern.
Well, we've had this conversation in the past sometimes where how often do you see a team that's, I can afford to lose, come out the next day and just not be at that same level? It's a very difficult place mentally to be, isn't it, in terms of, we lost, but we're okay. Now Bellarus has got to be sensible because he's 20 down. Does he believe he can come back in 5 minutes? Or does he think, well, I've got to win a game tomorrow now? Or the whole thing implodes in terms of us qualifying for an Olympic Games?
They can just do no wrong right now. It is unbelievable. Well, tip your hat to them. I mean, you know, they've taken their hits. Finished runners-up the last 2 years of the FIBA Asia Championships. They got that blowout defeat to Spain in the quarterfinals of the World Championship. But they've just been digging in, working, and perhaps they were owed a performance like this. And more importantly, it's the fact that they've beat up and they've also just controlled the boards. And really, China were in danger of falling behind it in the first half. Belarus was kind of bothering a little bit with the defense, and Mitrovic had that fast break, missed the layup. They missed about 4 or 5 layups. Part of the reason is because China hustled back on defense and challenged them.
They had the 16-14 lead at the end of the first and had a chance to increase that lead, and then they just made some bad decisions. It's plays like that. You've got to finish plays. It's that composure. It's now, though, your mentality, you're all over the place when it comes to this game, because this is going to be very hard for Belarus to work out. Someone's got to say at some point, they played great and we lost. Forget it. We've got to win tomorrow, because China have played great.
I mean, the only thing I would say that is the saving grace for Belarus is that they know they're capable of playing a lot better. And just on the evidence of watching Argentina get blown out by Turkey, you have to think that Belarus would be the favorites in that game.
You would think.
But, all bets are off after watching this.
Yep, absolutely. That's the thing.
Look at that. Baseline, layup. Oh, she missed it. Chin none. Passes it back out. Blue in at the line, fouled, shooting the jump shot. So 77-56, and Cena's going to come back in. And Belarus are...
And I don't understand Cena going back in, Jeff. If she's got injury issues, another day might help her be a little better tomorrow. They've shot over 70% in the second half. And this is national team basketball. This isn't a qualifying tournament. You have to be playing exceptional basketball to be shooting 70% from the field. Or the other team is not playing any defense, but that's not quite true. They're trying to play defense.
Well, it's interesting, you know, you came into this today thinking, we know at least we're going to have one close quarterfinal. And they just sucked the life out of Belarus. You can see it right now.
And that's the worry. Doesn't matter who they're playing. They have a good, bad, or indifferent team that they play tomorrow. Are they going to be able to mentally pick themselves up? Do they get into that last chance back to the wall mode? That's where they have to get back into.
Harding pulls up and makes the short jumper. This is about 79-58.
Yeah, you have to understand. Can't make a mistake. If you have something, you take it.
That's just so right on the money in terms of let's not try and kill the game. If you've got something, you've got to take it. You see teams just trying to protect what they have. No, 21 in 4 minutes is a tough ask for anybody. Coach Mar doesn't want to get into that place. You've got to take it. You've got a shot, you've got to take it. Belarus are pretty much on par for what their average is scoring. They're averaging 68 on the tournament. They're gonna get somewhere close to that, if not more than that. They've just been run over by a juggernaut that's completely steamrolled them into a loss here that's going to take China into the Olympic Games. It's just big games, big performances. When you get your team to do that, you can go home and I'm sure Coach Mara will have a beer and he'll sit down and say, yeah, we worked well today. Or he may have a glass of red wine as he's in France.
To be fair, after his loss to Spain, he just said, you know what? I think we played pretty well. I just think we got beat by a better team. He hasn't really been unhappy with how they've performed at this competition. The question is, how well can they play at the Olympics? And can they get better if they're going to win this game? Why not?
Well, I think they go from here and maybe have a sun break. Then they've got a 3-game series with Canada. Then they're in the UN. So his preparation's going to be good.
Yep, Gino R.M. is they're going to play the USA, right?
I think so, yeah.
He's here watching them. We'll get a look at them. Nice play defensively. Ziaskova now brings it up. Trina's going to go in. And was that a shot, or did she think somebody was going to be there behind her?
I think it was a shot that they got a piece of. And they haven't put anything else out there on the floor. I mean, they're getting beat and they didn't change anything. I always worry about teams when it's not going your way and you just stay with what you're doing. Nothing changes unless you change it.
Well, the dump to Troina. Ziaskova. Over to Litsina for 3. And Ziaskova gets it back. 2:21 remaining. Harding's going to put up a 3, hit it. So it gets it back to 16 points to deficit. 79-63. Maybe it's important for Belarus to get a good vibe going. Nice little run of points here. And again, goes back to Belarus. And Harding, she's pretty good in this situation. She's going to take it all the way. puts it up and in. And just like that, Tom Moore wants to call timeout because Belarus had finally found some mojo. 79-65. Harding now with 20 points. 8 of 14 from the floor. 6 assists.
Oh, everything was fine.
多打2次，多打2次啊！
Bullshit shots.
多打2次啊！
Where your children close your ears, you don't want to hear this.
1、2、
Look at that score by quarter. That third quarter was just a nightmare for Belarus. They're outscored 29-14. I'm sure that when Belarus go back to the hotel and go to bed tonight, they'll be having nightmares about those shots that were falling. They were one right up the other, but right now Belarus is on a 9-0 run.
But at some point, and it's a little bit like how Coach Mara approached his Spain loss or whatever. On today's game, China have been a much better team. Yeah, there's some things that they could have done better. They could have rebounded better. They shot 75%. There are not many of those shots in that third quarter were uncontested. Sometimes you just have to say the other team played better than us, made more shots than us. That's a picture that tells you how much it means to Luchenko. She's still got a second chance if they don't come out of a miracle comeback.
Trying to take a little bit of time off the clock, perhaps. Run down to 10. Chen. And Popova goes down, gets the rebound away from Xiaoting. And almost a travel. Passing it to your power forward center as she's on the move. Harding again, and had it knocked out of her hands. Saw an open pass to the basket. We did see a crazy China comeback, beat Belarus at the World Championship, but they had several minutes to do that. Oh, pass was telegraphed, but Belarus got it back. Harding in the lane, that's good. And she's got 22 points, it's back to a 12-point game. Might they try to foul?
They're trying to done it like every other part of their game.
Offensive foul called on Chen Xiaoxia.
Every other part of China's game today has been perfect, including their free throw shooting. So, but you have to try something, Jeff. Otherwise, you're just going to accept it.
This has been their best offense right now. Is Harding getting it and trying to penetrate. Oh, Ritsiskaiva takes it and hits a three, and it's down to 9 points. Hold on, folks. Don't go away. 51.1 seconds. Ritsiskaiva hits a three-pointer. What's going on?
I think it's exactly what we talked about in that. When he had the last timeout, Coach Mara, he's like, stop taking the bad shots. They just stopped. And then, we've talked about this in other games. The margins aren't that big. They haven't got an offensive rebound for such a long time, so Belarus have got stuff going the other way. But they have no pressure now, so they're just playing.
But what are you going to do? Are you going to foul if you're Belarus?
If you're Belarus
if
now,
you don't get a steal?
You've got to, there's not enough time to come back from 9 down with 51 seconds to go. If they use 2 lots of 24, that's the game. It's done. So do you foul? You go steal or foul, surely. If you don't, the game's done. And what happens? Well, so what if you go steal or foul? They make all their throws and you lose by 10. Doesn't matter. But you've got to make genuine attempts to steal. You've got to gamble. Don't just say we're going to foul. You'd like to try and get them to throw it back towards the halfway line and really shoot the passing lane.
It's interesting he's putting Cincinnati out there. She was out, wasn't she?
No, she was. No, she was in the game.
She was, okay.
Yeah.
Jen's going to inbound it. He's going to try to inbound it. And Popova. And the trap. And, oh, boy, Xiaoting took that thing away. She gets it again. They tie it up. Who's got the jump ball possession arrow? It's China.
As close as they were to the steal, though, Jeff, 8 seconds have ticked off the clock. And then they're going to have to try and do it again. It was...
Look at that. Oh. just took that ball away from Stetsina, and that was Popova that had it, but it went off of her leg. This goes to show that you really have to play all 40 minutes, doesn't it? China. Well, they trapped Hong Pen in the corner. And a foul has been called. She's a decent free throw shooter. Yeah, that was Popova. She reached over. You can see she called the foul. So she has to come out. That's one of the three-point shooters.
Those two plays are taking 12 seconds off the clock. And they're going to make free throws out of it still, so the game's gone.
So Belarus is going to call a timeout. Advance the ball.
But that's fine. But it's one of those scenarios where 12 seconds have ticked off the clock because they tried to stay out. They made a decent attempt in the trap, but maybe that should have happened sooner. You lose 12 seconds and you're 2 points further down. You could have been 1 second off the clock, 2 points further down, still got 50 seconds on the clock.
The Belarus have one timeout left.
Put the ball here.
A three-pointer. Get it back to 8. Call timeout.
China have no timeouts, so he's got to deal with we're going to score, steal or foul on the inbound.
Be ready for the back screen.
Then they can go shoot the throws, then they'll come back down with a timeout then. But they've got to get a steal somewhere.
Get ready for 10-1. Ready, here we go. Come on.
I think this China team's a little bit nervous right now.
No, I think this China team is a little bit excited. And I think they're looking beyond the end of the game a little bit. And they'll just get refocused after that timeout. And Coach Mara will make sure that nothing crazy happens.
Harden's got it.
They're not going to go early.
Tried to get the alley-oop to Stetsina, strangely. And Hardy's going to put it up from the line, wins out, and Hardy gets in there, scraps for the rebound. That'll get Belarus the ball back.
But you don't run a play to get a 3 straight out of bounds.
They're going to call a timeout. I don't know what Tom Moore was saying.
He just wants to know if it's on end line or sideline.
Right.
And it should, I think. I think he should be on the side, but I'm not sure where.
Going east-west. Or up here. No catches this way.
That was good defense by China on that last possession.
But there was nothing that took people away to bring someone back. There was nothing that said, oh, we can flare off that screen on the sideline. And then he ran an alley-oop. And then they took a foul line jump shot after quite a long time. It's so easy to sit here and say this, but it's give yourself a chance, however slim.
Yeah, you should have had at least one option to take a three.
A quick action off the sideline to get a 3, and if they chase you down, then go to the basket really quickly.
Yeah, you don't have time. You get it to advance Stetsina. And that's it. So China closing in on a spot in the Olympics. They are just 8 seconds away from a big celebration over there. In fact, the celebration has started on the bench. China are returning to the Olympics. Okay, China fans, your team will be in Rio. How about that? And the Belarus, well, they're going to have to win a couple of games. And that's going to be easier said than done. Tremendous overall effort from China. And that three-pointer will count. because she got released. So that'll end up being a 14-point win, 84-70 for China. All the hard work, all the stern lectures from Tom Moore on the sidelines as you leave the game, it's been worth it.
That is one hell of a performance by a national team. To come out that focused and execute that well is a phenomenal performance. It's a great job by the coaching staff in terms of preparation. The only numbers on stats that matter at this stage are 8-4-70. Now, Belarus have got an issue because they may have expected to win that game, whereas the other teams going into those games tomorrow, they may have thought, well, we're going to got a chance tomorrow. Belarus got to pick themselves up mentally. We can worry about that tomorrow. The only thing that matters now is how good China were. That is a performance from 1 to 4. They are just, that was a tremendous, prepared, executed game by the Chinese national team.
84-70. China now, you see they're behind their ticket. They are headed to Rio de Janeiro. I guess they'll go home first, have a little bit of R&R, maybe have a nice meal tonight. And gosh, this just must be like polar opposites in terms of emotions right now for these two teams. I mean, the idea that you're going to the Olympics, you'll have some newcomers at the Olympics for China that didn't play 4 years ago. You would have thought, you know, the way they were beaten last year when they played at the FIBA Asia Women's Championship and got absolutely throttled in the final by Japan. You know, you had to wonder if China would have it within themselves to make it. But there they are, the Olympic qualifying tournament over to the right. China joined Spain and Turkey in the Olympics. And of course, Brazil, USA, Senegal, Canada, Japan, Serbia, and Australia already there. And now the question is, where do they fit in the grand scheme of things in the field in the women's Olympic qualifying, or sorry, in the tournament? If they've just beaten a European team, the first time to do that at a women's Olympic qualifying tournament, at least in the last 2 editions, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe they're a little bit better than we give them credit for.
Well, they've definitely improved from when they played Asia Basket. So if they've improved, how much are they going to improve again? Miles been to the Olympics before. He's been to a number of Olympic games with different teams. He knows how to prepare teams. So, hey, just at this point in time, you just take your hat off and say you're there, and then you go and see how well you do. They'll find out how good they are when they start playing Canada in prep, when they go and play the States, then they can start setting objectives, get to the quarterfinals, see what happens. But that is a much better Chinese performance than people saw when Japan beat them in the Asia Basket final. Or the other way of looking at it, how good does that make Japan?
Very interesting words indeed. So, 84-70, China beat Belarus and clinch a spot in the Olympics. Congratulations. And we've got one more game coming your way tonight. France, Argentina, don't go away.